So find a place to sit. Find a posture. Take a moment to arrange your posture so that you're comfortable, upright, relaxed. You can allow your eyes to be gently closed and bring attention inward. Take a moment to soften and release any unnecessary tension that you can release in your jaw, in your shoulders, your heart. Soften your heart. Soften your belly. We often hold anger, fear, hatred, and a tension in our stomachs, in the belly. Rest in mindfulness of the breath, feeling it as you breathe in. Softening the belly, the heart, the throat, the eyes as you breathe out. And now beginning to reflect on all of the ways that we've been unskillful in our lives, intentionally and unintentionally. The pain that we've been in that has spilled out onto others. Ways that we've been self-centered, afraid, arrogant, or egotistical, and offended others. Bring to mind someone that you caused harm to in some way, something that you regret. And it can be something small, just offending someone. Something bigger that you've been holding on to, regretting. Bring this person, this individual, to mind. Imagine them. Visualize this person. See their face if you can. And begin asking for forgiveness. With the meditative phrase, like a mantra, slowly over and over in your heart, mind. Please forgive me for having caused you harm. Please forgive me for having caused you harm, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Through my words or my actions, I ask your forgiveness. And whenever your mind starts to get into the story, just come back, feel your body sitting here. Return to the next phrase. Please forgive me for having caused you harm. Whether it was intentional or unintentional, through my words or my actions, I ask your forgiveness. Keep releasing your jaw, softening your heart, your belly. Even if you don't mean it yet, keep saying it over and over. Train your mind. Melt the armoring over your heart. This humble request, taking full responsibility for our karma, our actions, as we ask for forgiveness. This is a loving act towards yourself. Please forgive me for having caused you harm. And you can bring someone else to mind. Perhaps it feels like there's a long list here. You imagine all of the people that you've hurt in your whole life that you'd like to make amends to, you'd like to ask you for forgiveness. For some of us, it's a small list at this time. For some, it's quite a large history of being unskillful. So before we move on to the next category, do a general request for forgiveness to all of the people that you've caused harm. Think of some of the names, the faces, important relationships where at times we were unskillful. Please forgive me for having caused harm, whether it was intentional or unintentional. In my words, my actions. Again, remembering that we are fully responsible for our own karma. All of the harm we cause, we own. Karmically, we don't get away with anything, ever. And this is a process of freeing ourselves from shame, from guilt, taking responsibility and asking for forgiveness. Knowing that there may still be a quite healthy sense of regret. It may still be a bit painful to acknowledge the ways we've been unskillful. And that pain calls for tenderness, for compassion, for mercy. And now beginning to shift to the category of offering forgiveness for the people that we have felt harmed by. Thinking of all of the people that you judge, that you resent, that you feel critical of, offended by, angry at, hateful towards. Remember that we're separating the people from what they've done and trying to see each other as sometimes confused, unskillful. And start with somebody that feels manageable, that you're willing to forgive. Don't go to the most difficult person, but bring to mind someone that has hurt you in some way and that you want to forgive. That you're ready to stop carrying around the resentment. Begin saying to them, in your heart, your mind, seeing their face, imagining them, saying to them, I forgive you as much as I can in this moment for having caused me harm, whether it was intentional or unintentional. I forgive you as much as I can in this moment for having caused me harm, whether it was intentional or unintentional, through your words or your actions. You have the humility to understand this is a practice. The intention to forgive, even if we can't do it perfectly, we say, as much as I can in this moment. Sometimes that feels fully sincere, full forgiveness. Sometimes it's just a tiny bit, just the willingness, and that's all. I forgive you as much as I can in this moment for having caused me harm. Thinking of all of the people that we've put out of our hearts that we're angry at. That we've been hurt by in one way or another. Opening to the possibility of forgiveness as an act of self-love, to free ourselves from a closed heart, angry mind, and the suffering of hatred. Forgiveness becomes a necessity if we want to be free. We have to learn to let go of clinging to the pain of the past and staying angry about it. I forgive you as much as I can in this moment to all of the people we've put out of our hearts. We become angry. Work your way up to the most difficult, slowly, with a daily practice of forgiveness. And now shifting to yourself. Breathe the possibility of forgiveness into your own heart, into your own mind, for all of the ways that we hurt ourselves, for how painful it can be to live with a human mind that judges and compares, that is fueled by a tendency of repetitive craving. This human mind that doesn't always know our own worthiness, our own ability. The ways that we close our hearts. And begin taking yourself as the object of forgiveness. Saying to yourself, in your own mind, your own heart, maybe even using your own name, and saying, I forgive you as much as I can in this moment. Saying, I forgive you to the negative habits of your mind, of your heart. Saying, I forgive you to any ways that your body has been a source of suffering. The sickness, the aging, the illnesses, the injuries. Softening your own belly to yourself. Opening your heart to yourself. Forgiving ourselves. Even if you don't mean it yet, over and over. I forgive you as much as I can in this moment. Say your own name so you know it's to yourself. Sometimes it's necessary to think of ourselves in an earlier time in life as children, perhaps, before we had started being unskillful, before we had developed a sense of unworthiness. Think of that little girl or that little boy, time of more innocence, with love, with compassion, with forgiveness, for all of the pain that that young person would encounter, all of the ways that we would respond unskillfully to our pain, turning it inward, saying, I forgive you for that. Child, that adolescent, that teenager, that young adult. For all of the ways that we've been unskillful, unwise, invite yourself back into your own heart with forgiveness. I forgive you as much as I can become our mantra, this humble aspiration, this intention of forgiveness. And then just return to mindfulness of breath and body, self-acceptance of this process. Nobody forgives perfectly or completely, but we continue to set the intention of forgiveness. And when you're ready, allowing your eyes to be open. Take a moment to reorient yourself. Sometimes when we do a meditation like this, it can give us a lot of information, more can be revealed, more awareness. Sometimes stuff comes up that we weren't even aware of, resentments that we're holding, or things that we're feeling guilty about. Old stuff that we thought we were done with rearises. So whatever your experience is, I just have a deep encouragement to persevere, to take this as a central part of our human life. I love that quote from the beginning so much, that forgiveness is to be practiced every day, every hour, unceasingly. And it's just what we live and breathe. It's just necessary. And it's so easy to forget, and it's so easy to get pissed off, and it's so easy to choose to suffer about being right rather than choose to be happy. And not so concerned with being right all of the time, even if we are, still not worth suffering about. Couple of reflections, things I don't think I said yet, maybe I alluded to. One, and I think that this is very important, and here's the statement: forgiving something that happened in the past does not get rid of the pain from the past. And I think that sometimes we think, oh man, I'm in so much pain about what happened, and that if I can just forgive it, then it won't hurt anymore. And there's some way that forgiveness does relieve levels of suffering that we lay on top of the pain that we've experienced in our life. But it doesn't get rid of the pain that we've experienced, just the suffering that we lay on top, just the anger, the hatred, the hardness as we soften to, yeah, that really fucking hurt. And I forgive you, and I forgive the situation, and I no longer want to make it worse by clinging to it. So remember that this is why forgiveness and loving kindness and compassion are so interconnected, because we're still going to have all of our pain. I think it was Cornfield, maybe he made it up, maybe he didn't, that said something like, forgiveness is letting go of all hope for a better past. You know, what has happened has happened. And with meditation practice, we develop some free will, some choice. Am I going to continue to stay angry about what has happened, or am I going to start to meet it with forgiveness and compassion? Am I going to continue to stay unhappy and suffering, or am I going to train my heart and my mind to get free? And I know that that's why you're here and what we're all doing, which is let's get free. Let's get free together. Let's train our hearts, our minds. Let's forgive. And, you know, with what's happening right now, as much as ever, more than ever, a reminder tonight about the necessity of forgiving and developing wisdom and a wise response, and letting go of what we thought was going to happen, what we thought our life was going to be like, our plans, our cravings, our, let go. It's right now, right now it's like this. This is what's happening now. And it is our practice to embody reality as it is, with tenderness for how painful it is, with forgiveness for how painful it is, with appreciation for whatever is feeling good, pleasant, gratitude that we have, amazing that we have the internet. We can meditate together even though we're not together. Remember to bring some gratitude. And lastly, usually I would try to do a Q&A now. But I can't actually it's hard for me to actually see well enough to see your questions. I do have a question here. Yeah, I don't think I can actually do it. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Maybe next week what I'll do is I'll have a second phone here so that I can see your questions, because it's too far away for me to really get. These teachings are written about. If you have questions about anything that I've said, I'm both in Against the Stream and Heart of the Revolution. I feel like all of these perspectives are clearly written about, and sometimes it's good to crack a book and study it and look at it and reflect on it. As we go forward, we'll try to do some Q&A, but I don't think I can really do it tonight. It doesn't feel quite possible. Here's one of the last things that I want to say. And that is, in this time of Corona and the disruption to your life on whatever level is happening, my encouragement is for all of us to see it as practice, as an opportunity for practice. And if possible, if you're going to be home a lot and you're going to be self-quarantining and maybe less busy and less out and about, see it as a home retreat, as a spiritual retreat where you can do more meditation practice, you can read more Dharma books, you can listen to more Dharma talks, you can tune in to all of these great things that are happening. Every meditation group in the world has gone online now. I was on the waiting list for this retreat that's happening, I think, next week, and I wasn't going to get in. I was like 70th on the waiting list. And then I got this email that because they can't have the retreat, they're going to live stream it. And now I get to be part of the live stream of the retreat just because I was on the waiting list. And, just seeing like, this opportunity now to receive this Dharma from this retreat that I didn't think I was going to get to attend. And now in some way from home, I get to attend it. I get to connect. Here at Against the Stream, we're going to be live streaming our classes, I think 6 days a week. I will continue to do Mondays. We're going to have Rachel Savage from the Rebel Saints Meditation Society up in Seattle live streaming her class on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And she's a great teacher. She's in training. She's a new teacher, but really has a solid and wise understanding and great offering of the Dharma. So tune in tomorrow for her class if you'd like to. And Wednesday, Jason Murphy will be streaming his class on Wednesdays. And Thursdays, I believe beginning this week, Jason Siff is going to be doing his recollective awareness meditation class. Jason's a colleague, teacher that's senior to me, who I respect and appreciate. I've been doing some teaching with and practice with. Jason's going to start a Thursday night class here at Against the Stream eventually. So we're going to get it going now online. So tune in, check out Jason on Thursdays. Friday night, the East Side, our Frogtown Sangha will continue the alternation between Ward and Soma and myself. I did last week. I think this week is Ward, next week is Soma. Then I'll be, or maybe I'm the following week, the 27th, I think is mine. I'll be on the Friday. And so right now, 6 days a week. I think we don't have anything on Saturday currently, but almost every night there'll be guided meditations, Dharma talks from us. And so I know you've tuned in tonight. Spread the word, invite people, forward these things. If you're watching on Instagram, as you know, the class lives for 24 hours in the stories, and then it's gone forever. But I'm simultaneously putting it onto Facebook on the Against the Stream Meditation Center site, where then it is recorded, is archived. So if you want to go back and listen to some of this again or watch it again, you can get that at the Against the Stream Meditation Center Facebook page. Eventually, we then pull it and put it on YouTube and the podcast as well for my teachings. Now, lastly, end a little bit early tonight, but lastly, as a request for support to the Against the Stream Meditation Center, closing and not having the class, of course, is financially devastating, as it is for all of the businesses that are closing. So if you can, as you probably already know, Buddhism is a donation. The way that I teach Buddhism is a donation-based economy anyways. And so if you can make a donation, even though you're not here live, you're at home, if you can make a donation to the website, againstthestream.com. If you feel moved to become a monthly supporter, that is a wonderful way to support us. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to pay the rent as we're closed down for however long. I believe there's a link in the bio at the Against the Stream page that you're watching through in Instagram, and I believe there's a link too where you can go directly to donate at Venmo on Facebook. So please support us if you can. We understand that everyone's concerned about their finances at the moment, and know that we will continue doing this regardless of our ability to actually support the center and the employee and all of that. But we hope to continue and to continue to have this space for everyone to come back to when the self-isolation is over. When your retreat is over, I'm going to welcome you back. So I think I'll end there tonight. I probably should be announcing something else. Oh, the last announcement that I have, or information, is that starting on this Sunday, March 22nd, I have a course on the teachings of Ajahn Chah, the lineage of the Thai forest master Ajahn Chah, where we're reading his book, a book of his teachings called Food for the Heart. And we're going to be meeting on Sundays once a month, one Sunday a month in March, April, May, and June. And we're reading the book, and we're going to have a kind of, study, meditation, discussion on this teaching, this, kind of amazing master of the Dharma, Ajahn Chah, who's somebody I never met, but he's my teacher's teacher. He was Ajahn Amaro and Ajahn Sumedho and Jack Kornfield's teachers. So I've been heavily influenced by his teachings, and I want to share those, and people can sign up for that on the website Against the Stream, and it's going to be done, it's going to be an online course. I think we're using Zoom or something like that for that, but please consider signing up for that. Check it out on the website. Lastly, although I don't have that much availability, I'm a little bit busy. I do one-on-one sessions with people, and I do online sessions. If you want some support in your meditation practice, if you want some counseling, I do hold a master's degree in psychology. I want to work with recovery issues or deepening your practice or forgiveness. You can reach out to me and make an appointment. I do charge something for that. But if you'd like to do some one-on-one time while you're at home and you want to do some counseling over the Skype or FaceTime, send me a direct message through my Instagram, Noah Levine 108, or on one of the social media pages. It will get to me eventually. I'm happy to connect and support in any way that I can. I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I wish you well. I hope you continue to join us online for the Against the Stream classes. And I will see you next Monday. And may any goodness that comes from our practice be gathered and shared outward in all directions for the benefit of all sentient beings, spreading forgiveness and compassion and appreciation outward in all directions to this planet that is currently stressed, currently afraid, currently suffering. May all beings find happiness. May all beings be at ease. May all beings be free from suffering.